This YouTuber just got sued for impersonating a labor enforcement agency and showing up at random workplaces to curse at managers on behalf of anonymous employees.
They say he always trying to f the employees, so I guess he's just trying to f everybody. Be giving out pills and be trying to seduce the whole shift.
You've lost your mind.
I'm not leaving till I get some gas money. You tell me what's going on and he complains.
So it's safe to say that business model just caught up to him in the worst way possible, because a company in Louisiana is now dragging him into federal court. But what makes this even more insane is this isn't the first time he's been raided by the feds for the exact same thing. How do you not learn from your mistakes? But either way, this is Calamar White, also known as Agent Ratliff, a 36-year-old comedian who possibly created one of the more chaotic side hustles I've seen in a while. He runs something called OCDA, Occupational Care Diversity Affairs, which might sound official at first, but it's really just some made-up organization designed entirely to mess with bad bosses. And here's how it works. So if you hate your manager, but you don't want to lose your job by telling them off yourself, you can go to Calamar's website and you can file a complaint. Then Calamar puts on his OCDA uniform, grabs a clipboard, shows up at your workplace with a camera crew, and proceeds to read your complaint word for word to your boss while you stay completely anonymous.
And what it do, man? It's your boy Agent Ratliff with OCDA Cares Diversity Affairs, finna rectify and reprimand Mr. Rick Jones freak ass. How you going?
Fine.
Agent Ratliff with OCDA Cares Diversity Affairs, ID number 33712.
Okay.
We were coming out here to go over some complaints. We try to remain unbiased in these situations. We just want to get your side of the story.
Are you with OSHA? DA, I looked it up and you don't come up under OSHA.
OCDA Cares Diversity Affairs.
Show me your badge.
I have a badge.
That's what I have to see.
See, y'all want to see the badge,
I
cause
can come to your office and tell you my badge.
see, but if you come to my office, I won't be trying to hide anything.
I'm not hiding anything.
They say he always trying to. They ain't say he always trying to females. They said employees. So I guess he just.
You've lost your mind.
I'm not leaving till I get some gas money. You tell me what's going on and he complain.
Definitely an interesting side hustle. So he's been running this operation for less than 2 years, and he's built it into something pretty big. Over 1 million people follow him on TikTok, and these videos regularly pull in several million views each. And his team in Georgia is apparently drowning in over 20,000 complaint requests, with hundreds more flooding in every single week. So the formula is pretty simple. Calamar walks into an office building looking semi-official, pulls out his notepad, and starts going off on completely blindsided managers who have zero idea what's going on. He's openly admitted that he's always wanted to curse out authority figures, and that he used to fantasize about storming into offices and doing exactly what he's doing right now. Only now, he actually gets paid for it. Sometimes managers recognize him because OCDA is blown out of social media, and when they confront him about whether he's actually legit, Calamar tells them that OCDA is a real company and these are real complaints, which is technically accurate since he did register OCDA as an actual LLC right from the beginning. But there is an obvious problem here. Unlike OSHA, which is a legitimate federal agency that handles workplace safety throughout the country, which is why you see the comments on those Instagram reels of, like, you know, construction workers doing incredibly sketchy stuff, often related to a ladder or something like that, saying, oh, OSHA's gonna love this one. Yeah, there's a similarity between the acronyms of OSHA and OCDA, and that could be on purpose. Who knows though? But OCDA has zero legal authority to walk into a private business and start interrogating people. So there's this like razor thin line between what Calamar is technically allowed to do and what he's actually getting away with. Because most of the time, by the point managers figures out he's not actually backed by any real power, he's already gotten into their conference rooms, delivered the complaint, and gotten the reaction on camera. Usually, they just kick him out. However, that's not actually the only thing they can do. Because as it turns out, the federal government doesn't really find the whole pretending to be affiliated with a government agency too funny. Who would have thought? So in August of 2024, after getting complaints that Calamar was impersonating federal employees, agents from the Department of Labor showed up to his house in Douglasville and raided the place. Calamar claims that around 30 officers came through with guns drawn like he was running some sort of like criminal empire, and he kept trying to explain that he was just a comedian. Regardless, they arrested him anyway, and he spent an entire month sitting in county jail before he finally got bonded out. During the raid, though, they found a firearm, which Calamar says belongs to someone else, but since he's a convicted felon, he got hit with a weapons charge. After getting out, he made some adjustments. He scrubbed the OSHA references from the OCDA uniforms and website, and he slapped an all-caps disclaimer on his TikTok that screams, "We are not affiliated with OSHA." He then says that he's learned his lesson, but he didn't. I wouldn't be making a video if he did learn his lesson, honestly. Because just about a year later, on August 1st, 2025, Calamar rolled up to the Holmes Building Materials in Baton Rouge with his usual setup. According to the federal lawsuit the company and one of their supervisors just filed, the YouTuber walked in calling himself Agent Ratliff from OCDA and essentially started accusing Supervisor Derek Jones of racial harassment, nepotism, and a bunch of other workplace violations.
Agent Ratliff with Occupation and Cares, Diversity Affairs, ID number 33712. And we was coming out here to go over some complaints and code compliances. Yeah. Okay. So I just want to confirm this is Homes Building Materials, Derek Jones. Okay, so he say right here, it smell like a fat. He be in people personal space trying to talk, but he be spitting tobacco.
Part of that was funny.
This is ridiculous, to be honest.
Which part?
All of it.
Oh.
This is a smoking area. It already smells like booty and ass in here. Now you want us to leave because you hear the truth.
Okay, yeah, so the lawsuit forces on the thing that actually brought him down. When employees asked for actual identification, Calamar and his crew allegedly told them they were connected to OSHA. Now, if that's true, clearly he didn't learn his lesson. And given that he's used, variations like OSHA Cares Diversity Affairs in past videos, which sounds suspiciously similar to the actual government agency, you can see how people could get confused here. The lawsuit argues that him and his team deliberately made it seem like they had government authority, and that the whole thing was designed to trick the company and its workers into letting them in. However, the allegations don't stop at just pretending to be federal agents. Derek Jones claims that once they were inside, Calamar wouldn't let him leave the room, which apparently is being charged as false imprisonment. And the lawsuit also says that Calamar's two associates blocked the doorway and all three of them refused to leave the office, leading to additional charges of assault. And as if things couldn't get even worse, it also says that Agent Ratliff committed battery by blowing cigarette smoke directly into Derek Jones's face during the confrontation. And while I see he does light a cigarette, I don't see that he actually blows it right in his face, at least not on camera. But again, this just shows the whole slippery slope of harassing strangers for content in person. Like, no one wants to be a part of your content. Obviously, the way this is set up is someone at that company allegedly reports the boss and gives them some insider information if they feel like the boss has treated them unfairly. Then he pulls up. There's no way of verifying if that's actually true or not. So I mean, just the whole foundation of the business is just extremely risky. And also, like these harassment streamers that we cover, he's not harassing normal working class people on the street for content. No, he's showing up to businesses that most likely have investors and people with some money that do not want to be defamed like that. And this is exactly that case, because Homes Building Materials is also going after Calamar for defamation, saying the video seriously damaged their reputation in Baton Rouge. Apparently, his video went up on August 12th and quickly climbed past 100,000 views on YouTube. The company and Derek sent Calamar a formal demand to take it down on September 25th, but he didn't. And now they're not asking him to remove just this one specific video. They want a federal judge to force him to delete his entire catalog of workplace confrontation content. So that's going to be an interesting thing to see what happens. I feel like they would have to bond together with all these other companies that he's harassed to be able to do that, because you'd think they would only have grounds to sue based on the, the video of their company on his platform. The United States of America, unfortunately, loves their lawsuits, and crazy things can happen in lawsuits in America. So, who knows what's gonna happen here? But in response, Calamar did post a screenshot of the news coverage to Instagram with a caption that said, "We never said that we were OSHA or any other federal agency. This is a real company that's actually registered with the state, and y'all let us in." He's been calling for Louisiana lawyers to reach out, and he keeps on insisting that he never actually claimed to be OSHA or any other federal agency, just that OCDA is its own company that delivers employee complaints. So, where does all this land? Well, the federal case between Homes Building Materials and Calamar White is moving through the court system right now, and we'll see how it plays out over the next few months. Because again, Homes Building Materials is asking for damages and want the courts to actually order Calamar to nuke not just that one video, but his whole catalog of videos in regards to this workplace prank content. Now, whether a judge will actually go that far, that's a completely different question, because courts genuinely have to figure out how to balance free speech protections with legitimate claims about defamation and fraud. And as I mentioned earlier, I don't think they'll have grounds to nuke his entire catalog. I think they can just take out that one video. Because, I mean, Calamar could probably argue that he's providing a service and amplifying real complaints that deserve attention, while the businesses and management managers ending up in his videos could also probably say, hey, we're getting ambushed and defamed for entertainment. So this is quite the fascinating predicament that we're seeing unfold here on the internet now, which is why I wanted to cover it. But either way, Calamar got raided by federal agents, spent a month in jail, supposedly learned his lesson, made some cosmetic changes to distance himself from OSHA, and then, you know, kept doing basically the same thing. So I guess one could argue that he didn't learn his lesson, and because of that, he's now in federal court facing a lawsuit that could potentially shut down his entire operation. But whether this actually makes him reconsider his approach or whether he just views this as like a cost of doing business, that remains to be seen. But as of right now, Agent Ratcliffe is still out there taking complaints and still showing up to workplaces with his clipboard and camera crew. So either way, it'll definitely be interesting to see what happens next. So if you're new here, feel free to subscribe, drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.